Good morning. I've missed you guys. I've missed you. I know I haven't been on here live in the last 2 days. I have been busy. I've had so many interviews in the last few days, but I'm back. Um, and all good results for my clients. I'm super excited for all of them that got their approval. Um, so I'm going to wait for a few people to trickle in. If this is your first time, definitely subscribe to my channel on YouTube so you can be notified whenever I go live. If you're on Facebook, you can also like and follow us on Facebook. If you're on Instagram, definitely like us on Instagram, follow us on Instagram. And on Instagram, you can actually hit the notify button so that whenever I go live, you'll be notified of whenever I go live. And if this is your first time joining in, definitely give a shout out, and on Instagram, on Facebook, on YouTube. Let us know where you're tuning in from. Even if this is not your first time, let us know where you're tuning in from. I personally am in Orlando, Florida. My name is Aisha Chidoe, and I'm an immigration attorney. I represent clients all over the United States with their family immigration matter. So your state or your location doesn't matter as long as you want to petition to become a green card holder, a U.S. citizen in the United States, and there is some form of relief for you. I will be happy to assist you with your case. Good morning, Emeka from, I don't know where Emeka's tuning in, but Emeka from YouTube, good morning. Chooks from Austin, good morning. Hula Hoops on Instagram, good morning from Georgia. So today I just really, and then my phone number is 407-995-6567. It's scrolling through the ticker on Facebook and YouTube. And then if you're on Instagram, you can once you finish the live, you can just check my profile for my phone number. I don't know how to pin it on Instagram. I don't know everything about technology. Hi, Precious from Champaign, Illinois. Thank you for tuning in. So today I want to talk about, oh, wow, John from Nigeria. Good morning, guys. Thank you so much for tuning in. So today I want to talk about green card, like being married to a green card holder and your eligibility when it pertains to VAWA. So first of all, I'm sure some of you might be wondering, well, why is this even a topic? So let me explain how immigration works in the United States with green card holders versus U.S. citizens. When you're a U.S. citizen, when you're married to a U.S. citizen, there's certain things that they're going to forgive you for. So if you overstayed your time here, you came in, with the visa and you stayed like a year later and you never left the country. If you marry a U.S. citizen, the U.S. immigration will forgive you for that because your spouse is a U.S. citizen, and they will allow you to adjust your status. And adjustment of status basically means they will allow you to get a green card without having to leave the United States. If you're married to a green card holder and you do exactly the same thing, you come in with a visa, you work under the table, or you overstay your time, but you're married to a green card holder, they will not forgive you for that. They will not forgive you for that, and you won't be able to adjust your status. So what that means is that you will need to go back to your home country to finish the process. Yes, your spouse can file an I-130 for you, and yes, the I-130 can get approved, but you won't be able to adjust your status in the United States. You would have to leave the country after they've granted a hardship waiver. So you have to get a hardship waiver saying that it's going to be difficult for your green card holder spouse, if you were not able to come back. And if that is approved, then you leave and then you finish up the process there. So a lot of benefits that they give green card U.S. citizens, they don't give that to green card holders. However, I want to talk about if you are a VAWA applicant and you are married to a green card holder. I always tell you guys, with law, there's always an exception to every rule. So if you are married to a green card holder, this does not apply to you. What that means is that if you are eligible to petition for VAWA because you have a spouse that's extremely cruel, or that is abusive, you can submit a VAWA petition and adjust your status within the United States. You don't have to leave. You don't have to leave because, you overstayed. So here are some of the caveats with that. Typically, you still have to wait for a visa to be available for you to do your adjustment of status while you're here. But that notwithstanding, visas are currently available. Meaning, if you're married to a green card holder and you qualify for VAWA, you can adjust your status at the same time as you apply for your VAWA application. You can get your work permits, your 2-year work permit, your 2-year travel permit, just like anybody married to a U.S. citizen, and you can get your green card without leaving the United States. This is one of the exceptions. So that is what I really wanted to talk about, because, I've come across several people who tell me that their spouse, they filed an adjustment of status, and they got denied, because maybe they didn't know that, they couldn't file it. But you can't file an adjustment of status if you're an overstay. But if you're a green card, if you're married to a green card holder and you've not overstayed your time and you've not worked under the table, though, visas are currently available. So you can file in that case. But 9 times out of 10, most people married to green card holders that want a position, they've overstayed their time here. So with those people, you have to leave the country unless you qualify for a VAWA adjustment of a VAWA, application, and then you can do everything simultaneously. Today's live is going to be very quick. So let me just take some of your questions. Mensa on Instagram says, "These sessions are priceless." Thank you. You're so welcome. I enjoy doing it. Dion says, "Good morning." Good morning, Dion. Dion, where are you tuning in from? Kenoy on YouTube says, "Can I still file for VAWA if she got me locked up falsely in domestic abuse? The court gave me an ACD." Yes, you can. Listen, you have every opportunity to plead your case, and USCIS understands that you cannot believe the abuser. So it depends on what your case is and how basically I would need to speak to you to really understand what happened, your own side, what evidence you show that, this was a setup on your part. A lot of people are in this situation, okay? As a matter of fact, I had a client who just got approved yesterday where their spouse did the same thing to them. I had them locked up, falsely accused them when that spouse was brutalizing her husband. And yes, my client got approved yesterday, but it wasn't a hard uphill task. But one of the things that I told my client, that no matter what you do not take a plea. You didn't do this, so you must tell them you did not do it and fight that to the end. And my client fought that to the end and was found not guilty. I know a lot of times they will try to scare you and terrify you and tell you, if you don't take this plea, you're going to be in jail for blah, 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 blah. But if you know you didn't do that, fight that charge. Fight it. That's what I'll say to you. Okay. Someone says, if VAWA is approved, what are the chances of getting a green card? Very high. So it depends on other things of inadmissibility. So if your VAWA is approved and you don't have any other grounds for inadmissibility, you shouldn't have a problem getting a green card. The list of inadmissibility is so long that I can't go through it now, but there are other things that could disqualify you from getting a green card. Even if you get approved for that VAWA and get a deferred action. A deferred action basically will allow them to defer any kind of removal, meaning they won't put you in removal and you'll continue to work, and stay here. So it's one of those things where I have to qualify that person to see and make sure there's nothing that will be stopping them from getting the adjustment of status. Somebody on Instagram says, how can I invite my brothers from Africa? I'm ready to pay. Yeah, if it was as easy as that, I'm sure so many people will be paying. So, the best thing is if you're a U.S. citizen, you can petition for your siblings. However, it does take 15 to 16 years, and that's just the reality of it. Otherwise, if your siblings are old enough or young enough to be students or school, maybe that's an option for them. Maybe they can apply to colleges here and try to get into school. John says on YouTube I have a question. My wife has not been filing her taxes. She doesn't even have a 1040 IRS receipt. What documents can she submit to NVC? Well, if she's not been filing her taxes, she better have a good reason. that she's not filing her taxes, because she's going to need to report that reason why, document that reason why in her I-864. She documents that, and you better be prepared to get a joint sponsor, because she's not going to qualify for you to petition for you. You're going to need a joint sponsor, but she better have a good reason why she didn't file taxes. Okay. Somebody says, what are the different types of felony that if you're charged with that you can't petition for someone? Oh, that's so you're talking of you as a petitioner. So you as the US citizen, basically it's we call it the Adam Walsh Act. So you can go research that. Basically anything related to children, child abuse, pedophilia, sexual predator towards children. If you as a US citizen or a green card holder have one of those, the odds are that your spouse will not be able to get a green card based on that. Very much, especially so if they have minor children, because they feel that it's a risk to children. America does not play with kids, well, no other country plays with kids. So with that is a critical thing. If there are other stuff, misdemeanors, whatever, they will let you petition. They're more concerned with the non-immigrant, the non-US citizen, and what their own criminal charges are. Deanne from Mississippi, thank you. Good morning, Sandria. Good morning, Olaita. Okay, so let me see if there are no other questions. How do I check this question? Okay, somebody says, good morning. My wife is an LPR, and that's a legal permanent resident, and I have overstayed my visa. My wife unknowingly filed for adjustment of status for me. The rest of your question cut off. Is it possible for me to withdraw the application? Yeah, you can withdraw the application if you want to, because you will be denied for a fact. If your wife filed an I-485 and she is an LPR, one of the things that you can also do is you can try to, you don't have to withdraw the I-130. You can always leave your I-485. But one of the things that you want to find out is your wife eligible for citizenship? If your wife is eligible for citizenship, then let her file for citizenship. And then you can use, once that is approved, you can submit your approved I-130 with an adjustment of status based on her now becoming a US citizen. Okay, so Akena says, what if the marriage is bona fide and your abusers are the spouse's family, but the spouse is quiet about it? Well, I consider that abuse. If your spouse understands, when you become husband and wife, wife and wife, whatever the case may be, right? You become a unit. That is your family. So if you are piling on or allowing your family to pile on to your spouse, in an abusive and in an extremely cruel way, you are part of the problem. It's like that saying where sometimes silence or being apathetic is part of the problem. I am willing to bet that there will be a lot of, when you're screened properly, there will be a lot of stuff from a psychological and emotional standpoint and the lack of support from your spouse that could qualify you to petition for VAWA. But again, without speaking to you and knowing exactly what it is that her side of the family is doing and how she is, supporting that or not supporting you, it's hard to tell, but there is definitely a possibility that you could qualify. Okay. So Chooks on Facebook says, I filed an N-400 and I'm expecting my interview any moment from now, but I'm owing back taxes, which I've set up a payment plan. I'm afraid I might be denied. Please, do you think owing taxes will disqualify me? I hate to say it, without knowing your situation, but yeah. Becoming a US citizen, you guys know that I say this all the time. It's the most simple form, but the most difficult thing to get approved for, believe it or not, because being a US citizen is the grand prize. So they are looking at your moral character and saying, is this person acting like somebody that we want to become a US citizen? Because, when you become a US citizen, you're no longer deportable. You can vote, you can do all these things. For them, not filing or not paying taxes is not good moral character. One of the things that they're going to look at is, when did you start the payment plan? So Did you owe back taxes and you never submitted a payment plan until you put in your application? If that's the case, there is a strong chance that they're going to say you don't have good moral character because you just started paying because you put in your application. However, if it's, let's say, taxes from last year, like you owed back taxes from last year that you just filed and you're paying on a payment plan now, then that's fine. That's okay. What they don't want to see is that you owe taxes, you just completely ignored them, and then all of a sudden you file for naturalization, and then you create a payment plan. That is a problem. But if what it is that happened is I filed taxes, my tax advisor or your accountant said you owe taxes. You said, okay, let's set up a payment plan. You set up a payment plan and you're paying them on the regular. If that's what's happening, you will be fine. If it's the latter or the former that's happening, then you won't be fine. Okay. All right. So Sandria says, I had inadmissible. They denied my waiver, was told to do a motion almost 2 years now. What will happen next? I don't know, because I don't know what the particularities of your case, is. So I don't even know what you were denied for or what you found inadmissible for. So I can't give you legal advice. And obviously it's going to be something personal. So I wouldn't even suggest that you type that in there. You can always schedule a call with me. Someone says, can I divorce my wife after getting my green card, marry someone else, and still file for citizenship? Would it affect me, or should I wait the 3 years put in for my citizenship before divorcing? So GPYs on Instagram, neither I or any lawyer can tell you whether or not you should divorce your spouse. That is a matter of the heart. That is about you and your wife. Like, do you want to divorce your wife? If you want to divorce your spouse, that's on you. I can't tell you whether to divorce your spouse or not. But if the question is, if I get divorced, can I still become a citizen if I marry somebody else? The answer is yes. If you do get divorced, you will not be eligible for citizenship until 5 years from the time when you got your green card. So that's the first thing. And you want to make sure that, what was I say? When you do your divorce or whatever it is, that you do it properly, and that while you're not divorced, you're not going to go ahead and file in your taxes saying I'm single or whatever it is. Because I've had a client that had issues with filing. She wasn't divorced, but she was filing single in her taxes because, you can file married filing separately or whatever it is. But, I can't tell you whether or not you should divorce a person. I can only tell you what happens if you do divorce the person. Okay. Let's see what other questions. Guys, I have 1 minute left. 1 minute. Okay, I see a question in here. I have 1 minute and then I have an interview. Okay, somebody's requesting to do a video. I can't do a video right now. I gotta go. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. I would try to tune in tomorrow, around 9-ish, well, 8:30 to 9:30, somewhere in between there. I'd love for you guys to tune in. Again, if this is your first time joining me, definitely like us on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, subscribe to my channel, hit the notification button so you know when I go live, and definitely share this with your friends and family who might potentially have an issue. I would love to help them. All right, guys, I will see you tomorrow.